Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Zulfikar. I will present the paper Entrepreneurial Intention Establishment of Startup Company in Pontianak. Here a bit of my CV. The importance of entrepreneurship increasingly being felt. Fostering entrepreneurship has become an important topic for policymakers in Indonesia today and most of the country. In fact, this policy can contribute to boosting the level of entrepreneurship. Policies related to entrepreneurship are not just promoting entrepreneurial as a new job field. However, the entrepreneurial policy should focus on developing a friendly environment for starting a business, starting from administrative procedure and regulation to developing supporting framework. Involvement in entrepreneurial activities is not to have increased in the last decade. This decision is certainly seen as an independent decision taken voluntarily by the individual. Argent theory of planet behavior is a conceptual framework that is built to explain human action and behavior, especially regarding the intention or plan of behavior that is the background of individual to involve himself in certain activities. Entrepreneurial education can represent someone with a strong entrepreneurship mindset, which is shown through understanding and applying the feasibility of entrepreneurial activity. Entrepreneurial education should act as a method to increase self-confidence as an entrepreneur as well as a relevant skill. The development of startup in the small-medium category is greatly helped by entrepreneurial education. In the end, increase of entrepreneurial knowledge and skill should be able to encourage the intention and decision to start a business. The dimension of family involvement is related to the accumulation of information that a person has. Family involvement is more likely to represent experience and lesson on the existence of profitable business opportunity. Family involvement can increase the likelihood that information about entrepreneurial opportunities is shared with the family member. This is important in relation to the type of information. However, on the other hand, it must be admitted that there are indications that startups with dominant family involvement will be less innovative compared with those that start independently. Hereby the research framework with the 4 variables. The variables are entrepreneurial education as an exogenous variable, entrepreneurial intention and implanted behavior as an endogenous variable. The other exogenous variable is a family involvement that also believed has an influence with 2 endogenous variables, which is entrepreneurial intention and implanted behavior. All of this framework will be tested later on of this paper. The data analysis on the build of the model has basis on theory planet behavior. The research will examine its relation with the variable. The analysis stage will include testing of the measurement model, testing of the structural model, and validation of the model. The test will employ the partial least square approach through computation and data processing using a Smart PLS3 program. The result of the paper can be seen as follows. First, we see the demographic result. The age distribution is between less than 23 years old to 35 years old. Gender representations also can be considered balanced, with comparison between 48% of female to 52% of male. The evaluation begins with the evaluation of the auto model. Internal consistency has evaluated using a convert above value and the compensate reliability. Both of the parameter can be conclude that all of variable can be said reliable. Confirming validity of the evaluation, use the AVE for the variable should be above 0.5. The discriminant validity, use HTMT test, and ratio produced should not more than 0.90. Evaluation of the inner model started with collinearity testing. The result of the collinearity statistical test show that there is no BIF number above 5. So there is no indication of collinearity problem for the model. The measurement result for the PET coefficient usually in between -1 to 1. The F value also been used to interpret the relationship. With the indication of mediation relationship, the hypothesis can be tested with a t-value approach. Hypothesis 1, the relationship between entrepreneurial education and entrepreneurial intention is mediated by the implemented behavior. And hypothesis 2, the relationship between family involvement and entrepreneurial intention is mediated by the implemented behavior. Both hypotheses can be concluded accepted. As a conclusion, the research question regarding whether the relationship between entrepreneurial education and entrepreneurial intention is mediated by the cultivation of behavior, and whether the relationship between family involvement and entrepreneurial intention is mediated by the cultivation of behavior, can be answered empirically accepted. Based on this, study recommend that policyholders focus their attention on improving the image of entrepreneurship as a career alternative through the curriculum that accommodate entrepreneurship within the education. In order to influence attitude toward entrepreneurship, education institutions can also encourage the presence of more entrepreneurship programs within their faculty. That's all of my presentation. Thank you very much for the opportunity given by TECHON 2021, and look forward to see you next year.